Hey everyone, my name's Lachlan Townend. I'm a pain trained physiotherapist and the clinical co founder of Pain Coach, a clinical support tool to help clinicians find lifestyle targets for the treatment of pain. Our mission at Pain Coach is very simple: a world with less pain. So if you share that mission, I'd love you to join me as I demonstrate and explore what Pain Coach can do in your clinical work. Pain Coach was born from personal struggle, both as a clinician trying to help people in pain and with my own personal lived experience of pain. I remember sitting in a lecture down at University of South Australia. Well, actually, I was watching via telehealth and thinking to myself, pain is complex, yes, but people don't want complexity. People want simple, actionable solutions. And it was that lecture by Lorimer Moseley that was the spark that started this journey to find an innovative solution for the complex problem of pain. So I quit my job and I started my own clinic, Physio Pain Coach. I then had more time and space and energy to pursue, and partly because I wasn't seeing many patients, to pursue this goal of providing an innovative solution to chronic pain. Initially, I just built a Google form and I ran stats through that with ChatGPT. The form collected data across the same domains that Pain Coach has today of sleep, exercise, social connection, psychological well-being, and nutrition. And what was interesting is that I had in this clunky form about 200 submitted responses from patients that could see the need for this kind of a service. I then set about finding someone that has skills that I just don't have. And I met my tech co founder, Evan Kelly. He was known to me, but I pitched him the idea. And from there, Pain Coach was built into what we see today. Like me, other patients are also drowning in the complexities of pain, often without simple, actionable steps, which is what they so desperately want and need. I remember clinically this back and forth around lifestyle factors and trying to work out and make assumptions as to what was related to that person's pain. And I ended up just doing generic advice that was based off assumptions rather than data driven. The other thing is that patients are overwhelmed. They have this realization that their pain is complex, that it's multifactorial, that there's lots of things that can contribute to it, and yet they lack resources. And they have a belief system that actually is dismissive or indifferent about those particular factors around lifestyle. They can't see the need, and therefore they don't want to act on it. And they have limited resources to actually act on it because of the overwhelm and the struggle that is persistent pain. Lastly, clinicians are also, they're not measuring, they're not tracking the intervention, and the biopsychosocial model really becomes a little bit of woo-woo, far less data-driven than I would like. It really does feel sometimes that we're just blindfolded, throwing darts at a dartboard, trying to hit the target, when patients really do need precision. Pain is multifactorial, it's complex. Patients only have capacity for one habit change. After all, habit change is particularly hard, and there's hundreds of potential targets. And patients often are left overwhelmed without practical steps to move forward. Pain Coach is my solution to this problem. It's not perfect, but it's far better than what we do clinically. Pain Coach tracks sleep, exercise, psychological distress, nutrition, and social connection alongside pain and pain interference. This is done through the patient's companion app, and then that data is fed to the clinical dashboard as well. This gives us insights onto the relationships between pain and these lifestyle factors, allowing us to find what is the lifestyle factor that we're going to get most bang for our buck from. This will rise to the top, which in this case is nutrition, as you can see on the screen. It then enables us to track our intervention, our lifestyle intervention. Is this habit change successful? And if this habit's change is successful, is it having an impact on their pain and symptoms? The best way to demonstrate the 3-step clinical process of Pain Coach is to give you a real life example. This is data of a fibromyalgia patient that I have. So the first step is I lead with curiosity. We've only just spent about 60 minutes, best case scenario, with the patient, and I don't want to make assumptions as to what is related to their pain and what is contributing to their pain. So I just lead with this open-ended, let's see if these particular factors that we know the evidence suggests influence pain has any impact on your pain whatsoever. This allows them to get engaged with curiosity, free of stigma, without that judgment that often people feel when you talk pain science. So the first step is to track those lifestyle factors alongside the person's pain through the companion app. The second step is to not assume that the correlation data is causative of their pain, but just know that they're related. The step that enables us to develop some directionality between these factors is to change one of the modifiable lifestyle factors and over time see what influence it has on pain. So the thing that came to the forefront with her was that nutrition, in particular whole foods, was the most important factor influencing her pain, or at least had a relationship with pain. We then referred her to a dietitian, and that dietitian has been working alongside her to help her establish more healthy eating habits and also a better relationship with food, and engaging in increasing the whole foods that she has in her diet. This, you can see on the far right, has improved overall her whole food intake. As a whole, you can see the trend line would be trending up. And you can see in the orange line that her pain has actually dropped over this period of time. This is proof that they're, or at least as good as we can have clinically, that there seems to be a directionality between nutrition and her fibro pain. And this is quite fascinating given the research around gut health and fibromyalgia, and how important nutrition is and what you put in your mouth is for gut health. This is obviously an anecdotal experience, and I wouldn't cause it to be evidence, and I wouldn't want APRA on my back because of that. So take this with a grain of salt. Pain Coach is backed by my particularly strong belief that your patients are one small habit change away from lasting pain relief. And the fact that you're still here after some time means that you also probably agree with this statement. And if you don't, I would particularly suggest that you move on. As you can imagine, Pain Coach has a growing database of patients that are inputting data, and that data is growing day on day. We have about 58 consenting patients that have agreed or consented to us using their data anonymously. And you can see the data that Pain Coach produces here on the left in the diagram. Out of 1,991 records when we were running this data, what category and factor has the strongest correlation with pain? So a category is either sleep, psychological distress, exercise, social connection, and nutrition. And the categories are those listed below: mood, stress, anxiousness, etc. I'd like you to pause the video and just have a think about what category and factor you believe has the strongest correlation with pain. Uh, Extra bonus points if you can list the categories from the strongest correlation to the least strong correlation. Pause the video before you go on to have a think about it. All right, here's the aggregate data from over 1900 records. So, how did you go? Have a look and see what is listed there. If you had the psychological category as the highest, well done. You've done very well. And then the second highest would be the sleep category, followed by social connection and then exercise. Nutrition's not on here because despite the variance in the patient that I just mentioned before, nutrition, when aggregated together, the data is pretty negligible. So these are the categories here listed. You can feel free to pause this video and have a look at it in more detail. And here again, I have the results by category, strongest factor per domain, ranked from the highest correlation or the strongest correlation to the least strong correlation. Feel free to pause this video and have a look. At Pain Coach, we are on an absolute mission to create a world with less pain. And we're willing to put Pain Coach under the microscope to do this. So we're commencing a pilot study in the 2nd of March 2026. There is still time to join in if you're a physiotherapist in Australia with at least 1 year of experience in private practice. Working with people with persisting musculoskeletal pain, please reach out to me. I'd love to chat to you. Our aim is to assess the overall acceptability, usability, and feasibility of Pain Coach alongside physiotherapy for persisting musculoskeletal pain. The primary outcomes are those in the aim, the acceptability, usability, and feasibility, but we'll also be looking at the secondary outcomes of pain intensity, pain interference, pain self-efficacy, quality of life, disability, and our unique lifestyle score as well. These will be taken immediately post the 3 months, and then at the 6-month mark. Our research team, I want to say a massive thank you for University of Technology Sydney, but most and foremost, Mark Overton, who's our lead researcher in this area. And I want to thank you, Joshua Pate, for actually making that connection with Mark to me in the first place when he joined the Pain Coach podcast. And I want to thank him for also participating. And then me, the clinical co-founder of Pain Coach, and Evan as well, the tech co-founder of Pain Coach. We are really excited to announce that Pain Coach has recently partnered with Aurora Health Currumbin Clinic. Pain Coach will be a part of their day persistent pain program. It'll give patients access to 2 months of Pain Coach while the program is going on, guided by the multidisciplinary team there. I'm particularly excited about the multidisciplinary team and how Pain Coach can integrate across all the disciplines and to get them on the same page and working in unison to provide the support that people need to get the best possible pain outcome. If you have any questions, I would love you to pop them down in the comments. We are excited to hear from you. We want to respond to feedback from clinicians and people with lived experience in pain. We are building a tool for you guys. So help us along that journey by providing us feedback, by providing us questions. And if you want to get in contact with me, please just reach out via LinkedIn or at support@paincoach.co. And lastly, I would really encourage you all to jump on a free trial of Pain Coach at paincoach.online. If you type that into URL, paincoach.online, we are at this stage pretty poorly Googleable. So please, paincoach.online, type that into your URL and we'll pop up. Jump onto a free trial. There you'll see a demo patient and you'll be able to use Pain Coach for 1 month with a patient of your choice. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments section below.